Good evening, class and professor. Seeing Matt Damon portray Tom Ripley in this movie, after knowing who he is through his movies and seeing all the other movies he's been in, it's difficult to see him play this part. However, he does pull it off very well. I think it was because he was still new to the silver screen. I mean, this is one of his first movies besides Courage Under Fire. But so to find why Tom Ripley murders Dickey Greenleaf, even in the very beginning of the movie, just from the opening credits, when talented was not the first word coming in. It was just a whole bunch of different other words, and even the different lines coming in, in my opinion, signifying pieces of something being put together. It just kind of paints a picture about uh, Tom Ripley is putting himself together and who he wants to be, or who he is trying to be. But in the very beginning, it's all social status. It's all social. He has that Princeton sweater that he gives back to that person. He has that fiance, quote unquote, that he is seen with, but not his, not whatsoever. He lives in a sub level small apartment, and um, he's very good at talking and very good at portraying something that he's not, as as evidence near the end of the film. But he goes to tell Dickey Greenleaf that he's very good at impersonating people. He's very good at forging signatures. Is kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen a little bit. But I don't think it was love at all. I don't think it was. It, I don't think it was too much of greed, even though he did like how Greenleaf lived. I think that he wanted his life more than his money. He wanted his social status. He saw everything that he had. Um, he saw his good friend Freddie. All those fun times that he had, getting up on stage, being able to do all these things. Where Tom Ripley, he didn't have that kind of charisma as Dickie had, and he wanted it. And the first sign of rejection from Dickie, it started kind of sending him on this downhill trend, and it finally, and it all accumulated to in that boat where Dickie pretty much put a wall up between him and Tom, saying, "No, I don't want to see you anymore. You need to go back to New York. I'm pretty much just done with you." And Tom couldn't take that. He wanted to have he wanted to have Dickie's lifestyle, and with Dickie pushing him away and not being affiliated with him anymore, we had already gotten the idea that he was dressing in Dickie's clothes. Tom was dressing in Dickie's clothes, and so already trying to become him. And then after he kills him, changes his hair, changes his lifestyle, takes his glasses off, uh, and becomes him. So I do believe it's all a social status. One scene that I really liked, and it was really, really important, which I'm sure most of you picked up on, was the piano scene when he closed the piano door and those two people almost separated, almost as in pulling them apart. Tom Ripley was being pulled apart from Dickie Greenleaf because it had to end. He would have gotten caught otherwise, and he had already gotten the the money from his dad, and it was just really cool to see how they did that. And after that, we really get to see him protecting himself as Tom Ripley because he'd gotten the money, he'd gotten a social status, he was cleared from the investigator and everything, and he was scot free. So, really good. Social status, why he killed him, in my opinion, is based on what I saw in the movie. All right, have a great night, and I look forward to seeing other people's posts.